You are now tuned in to Chicago Red TV, where reality is alleged and all things alleged could be reality. Hey everybody, it's your favorite girl from the Midwest, Chicago Red, with another episode of Chicago Red TV. And have you subscribed? Have you liked the video? Go ahead and do that. And let's get into episode 4 and 5, actually more so 5, of Beyond the Gates, because I gave you a little taste of 4 in my 1 through 3 video. And I'm a little behind because episode 6 came out today and I have to watch that too, but I'm gonna give you 5. 5 was actually pretty good. I finally figured out some names and characters, and we're still in the character building part of this TV show. So I'm invested. I am invested. Let me move some things around. Excuse me. Okay. So my notes are over here. So if you see me going over here, that's why. So in my other video, remember I mentioned there was this weird lady and I couldn't figure out what her purpose was, but she definitely had a purpose. She was the one that wanted to get her daughter she wanted to have her daughter work with Dr. Nicole because Dr. Nicole's assistant was taken out by this motorcycle, this crazy motorcyclist. I got some answers. The lady's name is Leslie, and she's the weird lady who ran Laura over in the motorcycle. It was her. But I couldn't figure out what was going on because remember I said she has a vendetta against somebody, but I don't know who it is. I couldn't figure out what her angle was. We found out. We got it. It's coming at the end though. I got you. But Leslie is the surrogate mother to Eva. Eva is the girl that got, it feels like some lint is on my eyelashes. Y'all see it? Can somebody blow it for me? Laura is Leslie. Lord have mercy. Come on, get the names together, Chicago. Leslie is the surrogate mother to Eva. Eva is the one who became the temporary assistant while Laura is in recovery from being hit by this motorcyclist. Leslie. Andre and Danny. Let's see. Andre and Danny. So Andre and Danny, Danny used to be a model. So she's very much into the modeling scene, and her daughter Chelsea is a model. So she's at this session with is that what this? Wait, hold on. In episode 4, she was managing her daughter's photo session. And after the session, she told Andre that they need to talk. Well, in episode 5, we saw what they were talking about because the scene opened up with Danny in the bed naked and Andre was sitting on the edge of the bed with his clothes on. I was like, why y'all didn't why you didn't bring us in on the conversation? We wanted to hear it. But this was after Chelsea's modeling her photo session with Andre. And Andre seemed to want to hang around a little bit longer. Like Danny was very appreciative to, for the session. She was cool with it, but she was, Danny is still going through it because her husband left her to go to date their daughter's best friend, Haley, and now they're about to get married and move behind the gates with the rest of them. Yeah, that's what's about to happen. So Danny was like, you know what? It's been a minute. Let me go and knock the dust off this real quick and get my mind right. So that's what she did. And Andre clearly wanted to hang around a little bit more, but Danny was like, get on. It was a one-hitter quitter. Andre lets Danny know that if she gets lonely, she has options. And Danny wants Andre to leave before the women of Fairmont notice that his car's in her driveway. And Andre is like, well, that's not really a bad thing. You kind of want to give your ex the hint that you've moved on. And have the women, because the women are going to see his car in the driveway, and the women will talk, and they will tell him that there was this strange man's car in the driveway. And Danny lets Andre know, it's not over. I don't need to send him any messages of it being over, because in my mind, I'll always be his lady. In my mind, he'll always be whatever. That's what she is right now in her mind. Danny said it's not over. Bill is her man. Even though he has his woman, he's about to get married to. That day, actually, I think the wedding is that day. Andre reminds her that Bill is getting married. Yeah, Bill is getting married later that day. Danny has plans. Haley has her friend and co-worker. Wait a minute. Oh, Haley asked her friend and co-worker, I think her name was Tina. So I'll figure it out when I get down to the rest of my notes. She asked her if the co-workers really like her, or are they just dealing with her because she's the attorney's wife, the head attorney's wife, the owner of the company, of the law firm. And the girl was like, girl, no, they like you. You good. That's what you would expect somebody to say that's an employee, right? Yeah. The friend assures her that they are all family. That after Haley tells her about her not having much family since her father left before she was born, and her mother resented her because of the father leaving. The mother resented Haley. So her relationship with her mother was really non-existent. So we go back to Danny. Danny goes to see Bill, her ex-husband. Yes, honey. Danny put on her clothes and went over to Bill's house. Actually, to his hotel room. As he's getting ready for his wedding. And Danny bears her soul to her ex-husband she asked him to leave Haley and come back with her. Tells him that they can get through all of the pain and all of the hardships that they'll encounter. If they get back together, they'll get over it. They'll get through it, and everything will be good. This is Danny talking. Bill goes down memory lane with Danny, reminiscing, and then we jump back into Andre. He's in a photo shoot with Kat, Nicole, and Ted. Andre asks Kat, I'm sorry. Do I remember that scene? Oh, I'm sorry. Nicole and Ted. Yes, now it's coming back. Because I did this a couple of days ago. Sorry, y'all. Nicole and Ted are having a photo shoot. And Kat is kind of directing the shoot. And Andre asks Kat about Ashley, the nurse. Kat says she doesn't know much about Ashley, but to ask Naomi since they're BFFs. Naomi is Danny's daughter. Ted chimes in and inquires about Andre's curiosity about Ashley. Says Ashley doesn't fit his usual sophisticated type woman. Nicole tells Andre Ashley isn't a casual person and he needs to remember that. In other words, Ashley is a good girl. Don't be trying to charm her out of her stuff. Don't do that. No, 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 no. Where did I leave off? Oh, then we come back to Bill and Danny. So Bill and Danny continue their walk down memory lane, and they're standing face to face in each other's arms, like this is Danny, and she's looking up at Bill, and this is Bill, and he's looking down at Danny, and they're just having a decent exchange for a change. And then Bill tells Danny that her desperation isn't it. Asks her where's her pride. I was like, Bill, you actually had me convinced that you might be pulling the plug on this wedding. I was like, what? Bill said, you sound real desperate. Where's your pride? Danny is insulted at the insinuation that she's desperate. Bill tells Danny to be the bigger person and forgive Haley. Danny walks out. I'm not forgiving anybody for anything. That's what Danny said. Okay, so we find out that Ted is a plastic surgeon because I couldn't figure out what Ted was. Ted is Nicole's husband. Nicole and Danny are sisters. They are the children of Anita and Vernon Dupree, who are the rich people. They are the matriarch and the patriarch of this Dupree family. Okay. Nicole and Ted met at a conference and were smitten with one another after their first date. He said he's only had eyes for Nicole ever since. We gonna find out that Ted may have lied, or he may have left out a truth, which is a lie by omission. Okay, so Danny is in her closet and grabs what looks like a hat box. It's a round box. But she goes into it, but we can't see what's in the box. It's a mystery. Gotta believe in the mystery like it used to be. Yeah, that's where we are. We in the mystery. Okay, now we're at the wedding. They're having a pre-wedding reception. So the wedding hasn't started, but they're actually having like a cocktail hour type of thing. Everyone is dressed in black and consoling Danny. Because remember I told you, Bill told Mr. Dupree, Vernon, that he needs to make sure that all of his family is there to support his new wife, his soon-to-be new wife. Yeah. So they showed up in black. Naomi and Chelsea are sitting with their mother to comfort her. Bill enters the room and speaks to Vernon. He thanks him for granting his request to attend, but mentions how ridiculous they all look in black. Says it looks like they're at a funeral. It does, but it looks like a very classy, upscale, high-class funeral. I mean, they are dressed to the nines. They're actually in evening wear, if you ask me. Look like after 5 attire. The gentlemen are in tuxes, what look like could be tuxes, or very well tailored suits, black suits. But everybody looks good. I ain't gonna lie. Vernon says, in a way, they are at a funeral because tonight they are burying Bill's influence on the Dupree family. This is the last favor he will get from a Dupree. Mr. Vernon said what he said. Haley's maid of honor came through. Okay, the wedding has started. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. No, it hasn't. They're getting Haley ready for the wedding. So Haley's maid of honor came through with the old and borrowed gifts for the bride. We're back at the pre-wedding reception. Anita is surprised that Danny decided to come to the wedding. She thought Danny would go to Paris because that's what Danny said she was going to do the day of the wedding. But that's when Vernon told her, no, you're going to be at the wedding because your ex-husband is holding something over my head. I can't tell you what it is, but your ex-husband's holding something over my head, and everybody's going to be there so that whatever this is, nobody knows about it, not even you. So Vernon apologizes for putting his daughter through this torture. Danny says if she ended up there on that night, it was for a reason. Remember the box in the closet? Yeah. Anita and Vernon have concerns after Danny made that comment. Danny's best friend comes in fresh off her interrupted vacation. She didn't want to leave Danny hanging on this day. That's so nice. Tomas introduces himself. Now, this is a new guy on the scene. Tomas introduces himself to Kat. He's an attorney at Bill's law firm. He's surprised Kat is there, but tells her he'd like to take her out. I'm trying to remember who Kat is. I think Kat is Ted and Nicole's daughter. I think that's who Kat is. We'll find out. We have time. This is only episode 5 of season 1. Vanessa reminds Danny. Vanessa is the real estate agent. Vanessa reminds Danny she can still go to Paris once the dreadful night is over. Dreadful. Just dreadful. Martin's husband is on the phone looking and sounding suspicious. Like this was him on the phone. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll think about it. I'll get back to you on that. Okay, I gotta go. Bye. That's what Martin walked up on. Martin asks who he was speaking with, and he says an old acquaintance, which leaves more questions than answers. Bill walks over to Danny at the pre-wedding reception and apologizes for what happened earlier. Says he and Haley appreciate them coming. Danny reads all through his BS and tells him she knows he got her parents. She knows he got to her parents somehow. Like he's dangling something over their head. She doesn't wish him nor his child bride well, and she hopes that her forced presence, this is a quote, she says, "I hope that my forced presence is a dark cloud over your miserable lives." And then she had a glass of champagne. She threw it right in his face, all over his crushed velvet suit. Actually, it was just a blazer. He had a velvet blazer. It looked like it was dark, like not emerald green. It wasn't emerald green, but it looked like a really dark green. It didn't look like it was black. It looked like it was a deep forest green. Deep. Anyway, Haley is panicking, and her maid of honor tells her if she has second thoughts, she can drop out. Haley is just concerned about low turnout being a bad reflection on on Bill and his business. Bill tries to talk to his daughters, Naomi and Chelsea. Yeah, Naomi and Chelsea. They have no energy for him. Naomi just looked at him and just walked away. didn't even talk to him, but Chelsea did give him some conversation. Danny and Nicole retreat to a table away from everyone, and Danny admits that she went groveling to Bill earlier, begging him to take her back. Nicole tells Danny he doesn't love her anymore. And how many ways does he have to show her? And Nicole was telling her right. She was telling her right. She asks her if her obsessive behavior is about loving Bill or the fear of having to live without him. I said, now that's a good question. That's what you expect from your sister. Absolutely. Her sister's a psychologist too, so Danny doesn't want to be psychoanalyzed, but she does want Bill to pay for the pain that he put her through. That's what she told Nicole. I don't want to be psychoanalyzed. You need to be psychoanalyzed the way you went over to that man's hotel room asking him to take you back. Danny doesn't. I read that. So Bill tries to schmooze Martin, wanting to clear the air. Martin is suspicious, and rightfully so. Bill tells him to remind his family being the Duprees, that they might want to think twice before pushing him out, because Bill knows that they're going to try to push him out of the community, out of Fairmont, and Bill is like, no. Remember me? I got papers on y'all. So we're going to do things my way. Not your way, my way. Naomi and Chelsea walk over to talk to Danny. They compliment her on how nice she looks. After a few pleasant exchanges, Danny tells them that no matter what happens, she loves them. And they all hug each other. I'm like, now y'all can't see this. Y'all can't see the setup. Y'all can't see it. I see it. I have my eyes closed and I can still see it. The wedding begins. The harpist plays. Bill and the minister walk in. The minister looked really nice. It was a young a lady. She had braids, but this part was shaved off. It was box braids. It was real cute. That very good casting of her. She looked very nice. The maid of honor walks in and sees the Dupree side all in black and looks surprised. She walked in like this. And then she looked at Bill. And Bill shakes his head as if he's gesturing to ignore them. So she keeps walking. Next, Haley enters the room. The groom side stands and all of the men on the Dupree side stand. Once they see all the women are seated, they sit back down. So literally, everybody on the groom side was up. All of the ladies on the, groom. Yeah, all the ladies on the bride side were seated. The men stood up. They just naturally stood up. But they looked around. They looked at their ladies. And they how you sit, like when you in church and you're the only person that stands up, or you're the only person left standing up. So you sit down because you kind of embarrassed. That's how they did it. That's what they did. Once they Haley sees the Duprees and the disappointment shows on her face. Like her face looked cracked. Bill mouths the words. And Haley walks towards the altar. Andre goes to the hospital to drop off the proofs for Nicole. He stops and talks to Ashley. And then they get on the elevator with a pregnant woman. I saw it coming a mile away. Get on the elevator with a pregnant woman at the hospital. I mean, what would be the reason for them to have a pregnant woman on the elevator with them in this scene? I'm like, y'all couldn't have done better than that. Eva comes home and tells Leslie that she got the job. Tells Leslie that Nicole doesn't have a clue who they are. So Eva is actually in on what's going down And we're about to find out, about to clue you in on what's about to go down. Leslie says their plan is finally working, and Eva is finally right where she belongs, in her father's house. That's Ted, y'all. That's Nicole's husband, y'all. The one that said that he ain't been with nobody since he met Nicole. And that's why Leslie put on her motorcycle outfit and ran Laura over. That's why she did it. So she could off Laura and put Eva in position to be closer to her daddy. You couldn't have found a better plan. Okay, so Andre, Ashley, and the pregnant woman are riding on the elevator. And as predicted, the elevator jumps and stops. The pregnant woman instantly goes into labor. Of course she does. Back at the wedding, the minister thanks the attendees for supporting the bride and the groom. To the bride and groom. Where am I at? She asks if there's anyone who objects to the wedding. Danny says, me? I object. Then she pulls out a pew pew and aims it towards the couple. The camera is on Danny hiding. The camera is on Danny hiding the gun, and then the gun is the only thing in the frame. I'm sorry, holding the gun. The camera is on Danny holding the gun. So you see this, and then the only thing you see is this. Danny pulls the trigger. So you see her pull the trigger, and the scene goes black as the sound of the single gunshot is fired. And that was it for episode 5. So we don't know who got pow pow, but we know who pulled the trigger. So I gotta watch episode 6 to find out who survived and if Danny is in the mental institution right now, or in prison, or both. Not prison, jail. But that was episode 5, y'all. This right here, this show right here, it's pretty good. Yes, it is. I like it. I like how they're building the characters. The Ashley chick, I don't really know. I don't get her purpose in this, but I guess somebody has to work in a hospital. It wouldn't be a soap opera if somebody wasn't working in a hospital. I mean, every soap opera that I remember had a hospital. All My Children, One Life to Live, General Hospital, Ryan's Hope. I don't know about Ryan's Hope. That was really before my time. But I remember my mama used to watch Ryan's Hope. But yeah, it's got to have a hospital. Where are the doctors going to do their dirty deeds? All right, y'all. Let me get off of here. I need to go to bed. Make sure that you like the video, subscribe, and I'll be sure to get you some more content like this and others. Because I know you like it. I know you like it. I get silly when it's late and it's time for bed. So that's where I'm going with this. So before I get too silly and lose subscribers, the few that I have, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Thank you again for watching another episode of Chicago Red TV. I'm your favorite girl from the Midwest, Chicago Red. And I'm going to say bye-bye.